Nick writes in from Moreno Valley, California. No idea.
Riverside County.
Okay.
Look who's been doing the show prep, Joe.
Oh, I already knew that.
Oh, okay.
Well, so that's what, northeast?
Of us in
It's
San
between here and
Diego.
Orange County.
That's correct.
It is between us? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's kind of on the way to Las Vegas if you drive there.
Got it.
Now, you haven't been in 10 years, I know.
I have not been
Because
to Las
they
Vegas.
banned you from the city.
yes,
On your
exactly.
35th birthday.
Yes, exactly.
You put our founder in the hospital.
Wow, that sounds like a story that he's telling.
Maybe we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So, okay. Joe now, I love listening to your show. I've learned a lot over the years. I've got a question. I have taxable, Roth, IRA, and 401k. Where should I have the total bond market and international bond be allocated to lessen my tax burden? Please advise. Well, Nick, we do not give advice on this program, so that is out of the question. We can give you some ideas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. And then because Nick's going to, send us another email saying, "Hey, I did what you told me 10 years ago, and
Right.
the international bonds
didn't grow very much."
And
Yeah.
so I want to sue you. So we give zero advice on this program. But if I were putting bonds in an account and I had taxable or Roth or tax deferred, it would go in the tax deferred account.
Tax deferred, which is the IRA or 401k. And the reason, it's not that complicated. Bonds have a lower expected rate of return. We just talked about
They're
that
safe.
last segment. They're safe. They don't go down very much, but they don't go up a lot. But they're safety in your portfolio. If you put those in the Roth IRA, well, that's the portfolio that's the account where you're going to pay no tax. You actually want your high growth assets in the Roth. And if you put them in the taxable account where you could have capital gains, well, you want your growth in that account too. So in the 401k and the IRA, which is the tax deferred accounts, that's where you want the safer investments.
So it all depends too on how much money that Nick has, how old Nick is, when he needs distributions, how much that he needs to pull from each account.
Good point. Because sometimes we'll say put certain asset classes, and someone has like $2 in non-qualified, and $5 in a Roth, and everything in the and it's
$2
like
million in.
And then you have to put everything in the IRA.
Right, because you know what I've seen before, Al, because people listen to this show for like 30 seconds, and then they implement something.
Yes,
right?
we have seen that and heard about that all the time.
And so it's like, okay, well, keep your safer assets in the retirement account. So bonds, you want to keep bonds, or real estates, things that are not necessarily tax efficient in your retirement account. So you're right. I mean, so they have $1 million in a retirement account. They have $10,000 in a Roth, and then they got maybe $20,000 outside.
Yeah.
So then what do? They put $20,000 in their outside accounts or brokerage account in some, stock mutual funds,
Sure.
in the Roth stock mutual funds, and the whole $1 million in the retirement account in
It's
the bonds.
in bonds. And this portfolio didn't work out very well.
This portfolio sucks. It's like, what are you guys doing here?
The first step is to figure out what kind of portfolio you need,
Right.
and then you figure out where to put those pieces.
Yeah, so if you need 60% stocks, 40% bonds, 80% stocks, 20% bonds, you kind of figure that out first.
Yeah, the other factor here, Joe, is if you are in distribution mode, so you're already retired and you're pulling money out of your accounts, you're going to want to have some safe money in the Roth and some safe money in your savings account, non-retirement account, because you're pulling money out. So you just have to be aware of that too.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. Things change so much with the advice that they need to get or that we give, or I guess not advice because we don't give advice on this show.
Suggestions.
Yes, because as you age, things change in life. As things happen, things change all the time. So
yeah,
you just
as your situation changes, you have to kind of look at changing things around. Also, to be aware of when you have an emergency cash fund, that should be outside of your retirement accounts, and that should be in a money market or maybe a short-term CD.
So what do you think about? We get this argument, question, or thought is that I have a line of credit for my cash reserve.
Yes, I used to have that mindset too.
No, you're a big real estate guy.
Yeah, I don't need cash.
Yeah.
Here's what did happen to me, because that's what I did. I had
But you had no cash. You just said, I'll live off a line of credit, and I'll
Yeah.
just have everything invested.
Yeah, just exactly, right? In real estate or whatever. And so then the Great Recession hit and the mortgage crisis, and then all of a sudden they said, you can no longer draw from your line of credit. We're freezing it. Really? I paid every month. What are you talking about? So
You must have me so confused with another Clopine.
yeah, that's now my cousin.
Yeah, that guy is.
That's a different story.
So send him this letter because I have very good credit, ma'am.